Welcome to Game Crunch, your weekly video game podcast. My name is Mike Anastasia. With me today we got Brandon.
Hello.
We're here to talk about games and things.
Sure are.
It's on the agenda today. Pragmata. We both played it.
Yep.
So that's probably where we'll start. Also,
Mm-hmm.
Vampire Crawlers, Pokemon Champions, and some news. Ready to get into it?
Yep.
All right, we'll start with Pragmata. Pragmata? I'm not sure which way that goes.
I think it's Pragmata.
Yeah, not sure. Close
It
enough.
doesn't matter. It doesn't
Yeah.
matter either way.
Because the game's excellent. So
Yep. Yeah, it sure is. It didn't handle the way I was expecting it to. I thought so. I'm gonna go ahead and lay this one out here right now.
Sure.
Pretty easy. I thought this game, when you do the hacking aspect of it, because I didn't play the demo.
Mm-hmm.
I've only played about 2 hours of it. But I thought when you were doing the hacking aspect of it, you'd have to use the D-pad. So the fact that it's actually using the A, B, X, Y, or whatever, triangle, circle, square, X buttons on the controller to do the hacking aspect of it makes it feel a lot better. And it makes it so you don't have to take your hand off the buttons that you'd have to have held otherwise anyway, or move it in a unnatural direction. I thought it was going to be really weird the way that was handled, but the hacking's actually super fun.
Yeah, it's
super
not
fun.
bad at all. Mm-hmm. Yeah, it really is not. I was not really worried about it in the demo in terms of how it worked, but more so how it would feel with prolonged use. And it's fine. I really have not had any major issues with it. And there's
I
some
defeated
things...
an entire boss with 10 HP left. The first area boss or whatever, I had 10 HP because I got hit by mistake because I didn't realize it was gonna boost into me. And then I fought the entire rest of that first boss battle, big major robot boss battle in the room where it's boosting back and forth and firing rockets that you have to jump in between and everything. I fought that entire boss on 10 HP. Quickly hacking it and doing all the crazy shit that you had to do. It's so cool. It's so fun too.
Yeah. I think it's a very clever game. I mean, mechanically, in terms of the third person side of things, it is very reminiscent of Dead Space, although definitely some differences. But yeah, I mean, I think it's very cute. It's very charming. I think the gameplay mechanics are solid, and I think they added some, because you get loadouts when you're going to kind of leave your shelter area, and you can have some mod chips in there, and I think those actually make the gameplay give some variety there too, depending on what kind of style you want to play. Yeah, I mean, I think there's a lot of good stuff there, and the game keeps surprising me too. I keep on thinking oh, I got to be close to seeing everything that there is there, and it's oh no, you got some more guns, you got some more upgrades, you got some more ammo, you got some more unlockables. It just kind of feels like they really packed a lot into this game, and you can tell that there's a lot of care that was put into this game from top to bottom, and I do really appreciate that. I think it fills a void that maybe we didn't know that we had gameplay wise, or have not had in a while. This is one of those games where it's kind of if Dead Space was still around and active, would Pragmata exist? I don't know. But I think that
because it's two different companies.
Well, it's two different companies, but you're not necessarily going to have a company kind of try to step in a space that's maybe too crowded for the market.
I don't. Okay, so I will say I don't know if that's necessarily true because I think we've seen Capcom do it in the past.
With what?
When EA and other companies were also doing things. So, for instance, we had things oh god, what the fuck was the name of that game? Hold on 1 second. I gotta go look at my Capcom games real quick because I know there's at least 2 examples of it. Okay, well, no, the easiest examples, right? The easiest examples. The fighting game genre, for instance, SNK and Capcom, and then they had the crossover with the two of them and everything. Or things
Yeah, but Capcom is really well known in that space. It's not like they're oh, let me just come into this completely different kind of area that we're not really in.
I meant in the past. I meant in the past specifically, not now, not current. SNK was actually very big in arcades around the same time that the Street Fighter games and other stuff were releasing, and then they ended up teaming up together because they went from being like competition to being partners, basically, back in the day.
Yeah, but it's still not really like going in with something they don't have experience with and kind of trying to crowd out a market. And plus, they already had their own space there, even just from what you said. I'm trying to think
Okay,
of. Let me think of a better other
there
company
are
example. I mean,
better
I can think of
examples,
movie
but I was
examples. I mean, this is like.
no. We're thinking. I want to go specifically Capcom examples. So give me a second. Let me
I mean,
scroll through
Dragon's
some of
Dogma
these.
is probably the closest I can think of.
You think so?
It's a space that they had no experience in, and they decided to go in and kind of basically kind of crowd into what was popular at the time with like Elder Scrolls and kind of things like that, even though it was not quite the same, but it was kind of that's the closest, genre they had to it. But they don't
I
have
was
anything
thinking
similar on that side of things.
maybe Lost Planet with like third-person shooters during the time.
Oh, maybe Lost Planet. That might not be a bad example either.
You also had things like Remember Me, I believe it was,
I don't
which
even
was like
remember that game.
yeah. I think it's called Remember Me. Anyway, it was like a sci-fi third-person platformer adventure action game, and there were a lot of those during the early to mid 2000s, and I felt like I feel like that was another example. Like Remember Me had, if I recall correctly, because I'm not 100% sure, but I remember it having like fuck, why can't I think of the name of that game? Like Mirror's Edge vibes to it. There we go. That's what I was trying to think of.
Okay.
Mirror's Edge was EA, whereas like this was, yeah, Capcom's take on it.
Yeah, but I mean, I would even still say, even kind of pulling it back, beyond Capcom, it is very rare for a major publisher to put in significant investment into not a strong um, genre, I would say. Like this is, there's no people that are clamoring for like third person sci-fi shooters. I mean, obviously there may be because this game has sold really well over the last couple days, but
I
it's
don't.
not. Hmm?
I was gonna say I don't know if that's true.
What third person space like sci-fi like action game do you know of that has been really selling well lately?
So I have an example, but it doesn't work.
Okay,
But it does work at the same time. You're
sure,
gonna be
sure.
like, that's different. It doesn't count, but it still falls under the same genre. And I was gonna say Helldivers too.
I mean, yeah, if you take it really broadly, I mean, obviously,
Yeah. No. That's why I said oh, because like I was thinking it go as broad as humanly possible, and it is exactly what you're asking for,
I mean,
but
I
at
think
the
I
same
said single
time,
player, maybe I didn't.
I don't think you said single player. I think you said third person sci-fi first
Action
person shooter.
adventure.
Yeah, not first person shooter. Yeah, action adventure. Sorry.
Hmm.
I don't know. I
Yeah,
mean, like we see other things, right? Like you've got your Starfield, you've got your um another example of like games that are like will copy like the same sort of thing where it like wants you to be immersed in a world or whatever, like your Skyrim, your Starfield, your fucking those kind of games. And then you had like the Kingdom Come Deliverance games that have been coming out lately, and you have like Cyberpunk and shit like that, and those games are all like open world, big, like immersive first person RPG games. And it's like
actually,
we do
Cyberpunk would
still
be a
see
good
it.
example. I would say
For what?
for
For
exactly what I'm talking about.
Pragmata?
Huh?
For
No,
Pragmata?
for
What?
for a developer going into a space that's
Uh huh.
completely new and making a significant like monetary investment into a game in an area that's more or less unproven.
Hmm. I mean, yeah, you're right.
Like
For
you would not take a big bet on a third person single player sci-fi shooter if you have like a ton of money. You would be like, okay, well, why don't we play it safe? That is not safe. I mean, you can even look at stuff like Dead Space, like the Dead Space remake didn't even
didn't
do
do
well
well.
enough for
Yeah.
EA, and like Dead Space One is a phenomenal game. But it really kind of depends on how much money they end up investing into it. I mean, was it last week or 2 weeks ago when we were talking about just kind of the ballooning budgets for games?
Yeah.
Um,
Oh God. Yeah.
yeah. So, but I mean, this game, like I said, it has sold at least 1 million copies over the first 2 days it was out. So that's a very promising start. It's been
This wasn't
doing
a
well off of
huge
reviews.
balloon like budget game either, was it? This was like kind of like pretty. Like, what was the
I
budget for this game?
don't know what the budget was, but I know it was basically in development hell for 4 years. I had just recently read,
Damn,
so
that's
I'm sure it
crazy.
was not a like low budget game either. I mean, obviously the quality of the game
Mm-hmm.
looks good, so I mean, I think it's clear they invested some decent money into it.
Mm-hmm.
Um, but yeah, I mean, I don't know. We're just kind of splitting hairs, just kind of debate on how well this game will kind of maintain itself.
No,
But
I think
hopefully,
this. So I think this game will do really well. I think this game is very well made. I think it will end up uh fading off for a while. Like after like maybe this year, people like kind of forget about it a bit, unless they like put out a sequel or what have you, or if there is even a possibility for a sequel. But I do think that it's one that people will look back on fondly because it is a very different kind of game.
oh yeah,
And it's very well made, like very, very well made. It even runs incredibly well. I've been playing it on PC, so.
yeah. I've been playing on Switch. I mean, I think it runs pretty solid, especially if you played like the Resident Evil games. Kind of similar to Capcom's other games. It doesn't have a fixed frame rate, so you get a little bit of kind of juddering around as it goes from frame rate to frame rate. But I'd
Mm-hmm.
say pretty solid in that regard. My one graphical qualm is there was one texture I saw specifically,
Mm.
one specific place, and it was heinous. It
Mm.
was one of the ugliest textures I've ever seen in a game, and it is so big you can't miss it. It's so questionable. I imagine it's probably questionable to some degree, even on the other platforms as well, but not as noticeable, I
Mm.
would think.
I see.
Um, but it was jarring when I saw it. I was like, what the fuck? But it was just for a couple seconds, and it was really mostly just the cutscene area. Like it was not anything that I would consider detrimental to the game. Like it wouldn't change my like overall score for the game if I was going to give it a score.
Mm.
It's just one of those like, oh, this is strange. Um, so, but yeah, I mean, otherwise it runs really well on the Switch. I mean, I think it looks really nice. I think space stuff generally tends to because there's a lot of empty space there in some places, but
Mm-hmm.
um, yeah, there's that, and at least the game wise, it kind of starts off with an interesting concept. You're going to this moon base to do some sort of work, and you very quickly find out that it's been taken over by the AI of the station, and you find a young girl, and she helps you in your adventures. Um, but you find out, I think, almost immediately that she's some sort of like robot, like AI generated like robot. Um, and when she tweaks out, I love it. I mean, I think
Oh,
you
like
had,
10010, and
yeah, she's like
like
zero zero
fucking.
one zero 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 one zero one zero zero
Yeah.
one, and they're like, what the fuck is wrong with this girl? Um, I love it.
Oh
Yeah,
no, the introduction you get to her is so fucking funny because you've just been attacked by this AI robot. You've just fallen through a hole in the floor. You're knocked out. Your leg is broken. You're hurt and damaged and everything. And she wakes you up by slapping your fucking visor and being like, "Get up!" It's so funny. She's so
yeah.
silly. I really, really like this character because of just how silly the character is.
I like both characters, honestly. I think they're both really well written. Like, I feel like I know more about Hugh than I know about most main characters in games.
Mm.
Um, they do a very good job kind of talking about his backstory and kind of his upbringing kind of as through this. And through that, he shares his experiences with Diana,
Hmm.
which I think is great. Then just kind of like they're back and forth. Like I actually find there are a lot of games where I really don't like the kind of like the idle chat kind of buttons where you can just go up to like an NPC and just kind of chat with them. But like
Yeah.
in this game, I actually really enjoy what they have to say back and forth with each other. So when they pop up, I'm always like, yeah, let's see what's going on here. Um, so there's that. And I would even say too, like your introduction to Diana in demo is it kind of like it opens up with her like drawing. She's just
Hmm.
coloring like on her like one of her pieces of paper. And then you see like these laser beams just kind of like going back and forth. And Hugh's like, Diana, and she's just like coloring away. And then he finally like grabs her and is like, come on, I need your help. And like kind of just takes her away. But she's just like nonchalantly just coloring away in the middle of this robot battle. Um, yeah, it's super charming, and even too, just kind of the way that they integrate like some of the story. I mean, it's kind of told very similarly to like Dead Space in those ways too. Like you find kind of like logs or emails kind of around the the space station that are there. There's some like holographic videos that kind of replay some of the more important kind of scenes that happen in that kind of story there too. You even get little bits and pieces too from some of the different collectible items that are there. There are like some Earth items that kind of stir up memories for Hugh, or new experiences for Diana, which are really, really. It's actually, I think it was a kind of a cool collectible idea. Yeah, and just every time I find one, I'm like, oh, I can't wait to give it to her and see how she enjoys it. Uh, I did see kind of a funny meme talking about this game the other day, and it basically was a picture of like this, uh, Death Stranding. I want to say Resident Evil Requiem was on there too. Um, but it really was like Japanese people are really just trying to get people to have
Oh
liquor,
yeah.
aren't they?
Yep. Yep.
Yeah. Uh, so yeah, I mean, I don't even like the music. It's just very atmospheric. It doesn't really kind of take over. It's just kind of like in the background. Um, like when you're at the shelter, and I was like, oh, there's a jukebox, and I'm like, oh, all these musics are just kind of just really just chill, like they're just here.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, there's that. I like I really do enjoy the voice actors that are kind of there. I'm kind of interested to see where this story goes. How far are you into this so far?
Like I said, I just finished like the first tram area. Like I
Okay.
didn't get to play much of it at all. Like the main boss that you fight, like the gigantic robot, you learn your little what is essentially a fucking limit break with Diane, or is it Diana?
Diana.
Yeah, with
Yeah.
Diana. Um, you learn that, and then you fight this gigantic fucking alpha robot. After you defeat it, you get introduced to your little base of operations for the first time, and that is where I left off because
Okay.
I didn't get to play as much of this one as I wanted to
Yeah.
for one reason or another.
Yeah. So you're still pretty early, and you honestly
Mhm.
really haven't even seen some of like the really fucking trippy stuff that this game thinks of
Yeah,
yet.
and I know there's a lot of like crazy elements to it, but I haven't seen them myself yet. So.
Yeah, I mean, I think this game is. I think it's, at least from what I can tell you so far, I think it's
Mhm.
bigger than I expected it
Mm.
to be.
Mhm.
And there's just a lot, and every time there's a lot of kind of like Pocopia in some ways, where every
Mm.
time you have like an idea of like, oh man, I wish I had this to help me in this game, and then suddenly like you get an upgrade, and they're like,
Oh my
hey,
god!
there's this thing.
I was about to say, speaking of Pocopia, I
Yeah.
went to a let me see if I can remember what the fuck it's called. A estate sale,
Uh-huh.
and there was this one person. I she had to be it was someone's mother, right? And I bought some stuff from them and everything. And the stuff I bought was video game related. And they were like, "Do you have a Switch? My daughter has a Switch too. She's been playing Pocopia, and we always play Animal Crossing, and I want to play Pocopia so bad." And I ended up talking with that person for like 20 minutes about Pocopia and Animal Crossing. Is pretty cool. But yeah.
Yeah, I mean, they are really fun games. There's a couple people I know even too, where I'm like, oh, my friend would love Pokopia if she had a Switch too, which I'm pretty sure she doesn't, because I think she ended up just getting her Switch because her kids were done with it.
Mm.
Um,
Yeah, this person
but
doesn't have a Switch 2 either. They're like, I want to get one. My daughter ended up going to college, and she ended up upgrading to the Switch 2, and I still have her old Switch 1, and I play Animal Crossing on it. We used to play Animal Crossing City Folk, and my daughter would complain about not being able to like build up the part she needed in her town or whatever. And so I would go onto her town at night when she's gone to bed and plant bells around the city for her and
aw,
whatnot. So I was like, this is such a sweet, wholesome thing. This is so cool. And
yeah,
like,
it is.
yeah, it was neat talking with them for a while. I ended up buying a racing wheel because apparently they used to make Mario Kart racing wheels for the Wii, and they had one for like $1, and I was like, I want that, and I ended up buying it. It's really cool. It's quite literally just like those, like the normal racing wheels that you have for Mario Kart, like those little plastic ones. However, it actually has a body that it's attached to and it has suction cups that could stick to a table, and you can use it like an actual racing wheel.
Okay. Interesting.
It's really neat. I'd never seen one before, and they're like, "Yeah, you can have it for $1," and I was like, "Absolutely, I'm getting
Really
that."
sold.
So
Yeah, no, that
yeah,
sounds very nice.
that was interesting. That's all. I just
Yeah.
wanted to.
Did you have anything else to say about Pragmata?
No, I need to get more into Pragmata, but something. Well, I haven't been able to because um my buddy has my copy right now, and he was playing it a lot, so I was
Yeah.
just letting him enjoy it while I played some CS, and because they had a new major update where they changed a lot of the animations, which kind of changes a lot of the general gameplay, which is neat. But that's not just that's not the only thing. I also got to play a new game that came out today. I have 5 hours in it, and it released at 1 p.m. and it is currently 7:03. So most of the day I've been playing it. Yeah, I bought Vampire Crawlers.
Oh, nice. Yeah, I did see that they came out today.
Yeah, it's awesome. It is actually really good. I'm gonna try to give a little bit of information on the difference between survivors and crawlers, and how they translated one to a card game from a card game dungeon crawler, first person dungeon crawler, from what Vampire Survivors was originally, and they did a lot of crazy shit here to make it work. As you upgrade things, like you can in Vampire Survivors, you can change your items that you get into stronger versions of themselves by evolving them. And you can do that here too. But as you do that, they're given like a higher number value, and
Hmm.
that's how much mana it will cost to be able to cast the card. Um, but but there's a lot of ways that you can just absolutely break this game. Some rounds I have like 4 mana, and by the end of it I have like 27. So
Okay.
I'm just spending my entire deck in like one run basically, and it's really fun because the combo system works where you want to like play a 0 card, a 1 card, 2 card, 3 card, 4 card, and so on and so forth. And the more cards you play by numbers, sequentially one after another in the like right order, the higher the damage boost is going to be when you do that. And then you also get gems that you can slot into said cards, like a boomerang gem that makes it so you don't actually use up the card and it comes back to you, so you get to use it twice in a go. Or sometimes there's one where, like, every time you draw your hand, that card will be at the top of your hand. And there's some that are offset by the actual crawlers that you use, which are all the characters from the original game, or
Hmm.
at least a handful of the characters from the original game, and they all have different abilities and things that they do. So like one might have it where anytime you play like a yellow card, it it'll reset the card and put it back in your hand. You can continuously play it, and it gives you more XP as you do so and stuff like that. And I broke the game initially with the demo that way, and so did several other people. And that kind of got nerfed into the ground, but not really. It's just done in a different way now with the way that the full version acts, and it's really cool actually. Like the little changes, it doesn't feel so much like nerfs as it does just mean like different ways to handle it now.
Hmm.
It's cool. It's really fun. It's really enjoyable. I've gone through like 5 stages, so you get the normal like forest stage like you would have in the original Vampire Survivors. It's a first person view, and you move on like a mini map, and then as you're moving on the mini map you'll see like skulls on it, and you'll use that to see where enemies are, see where items are, and see where like upgrades and other such things are, and bosses as well, so and mini bosses and powerful enemies on the map. And you'll just kind of follow along the path and go around the map, and sometimes you can go different pathways to get to different things. And as you do that, you will, kind of like with Vampire Survivors, you'll get more and more powerful, you'll get more upgrades, you'll get better equipment and items that you can use, you'll be able to evolve your items, all that stuff, and it's absolutely a blast. And I've beaten Forest, and then the second version of the Forest, and then the third version of the Forest, and then beaten the library, again modeled after the original map, and the second version of the library. And I was working on the third version of the library, and there's like another big map called the Bridge, where it's just like a wave and 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 a wave. Just so many waves of enemies that you have to fight, just one after another, and you're trying to like just get across the bridge. So you take all your upgrades that you've gotten throughout your play, and you try to just pump up your game as high as you can possibly go and make it as far across the bridge as possible. And as you make it further and further across, you get more and more unlocks. And there's a shit ton of unlocks in this game, just a metric fuck ton of them. I don't know how many maps there are. I don't know how long this is, but I do know that, like I said, in 5 hours, there's in this game there are 161 achievements, and in the 5 hours I've been playing, I've only gotten 78 of them.
Okay.
But I have done so many runs because it doesn't really take a long time to do like a run, because one run in a map is going down 5 floors,
Mhm.
and each floor the enemies get harder on the next floor, and so on and so forth. And you also get stronger as you go along. You'll run into things that will make it so you like permanently have armor. So you'll start the battle against enemies, and it'll be like, oh, I'm already so powerful, your damage is completely negated before you even get to do an attack on me. So yeah, eventually by the end of it, you just feel like a fucking god, similar to like you do in original Vampire Survivors. And yeah, it's really fun. It's really enjoyable. It's a very different and interesting take on the Survivors game, but
Mhm.
it translates really, really well. I just don't know how much content is, and I'll say this right now: if this is something that I'm able to finish in like a day, and
Mhm.
it was $10, I would say I don't think that's a good price point for it. But
Okay.
if I'm able to, like, if this is something that like lasts me multiple days, gives me as many hours as Vampire Survivors did, and I'm able to get to like, let's say like 20, 40 hours somewhere in there, and I'm still playing, that's pretty good for the price. But
Yeah.
I don't know, because I keep feeling like, oh, there's really not that much else that this game's going to show me, but then it always pulls something else out of its ass. I'm like, oh, okay, guess we're doing that now. All right then.
Yeah. I mean, the first game was kind of like that too.
It was,
Um,
but I feel like even more so here, when you like look at the overworld map and you look at what you can play, you just kind
mhm.
of feel like there's not that much content there. But
Okay.
I do keep finding more. So like I only see 3 stages right now, but then you see multiple versions of those 3 stages. So that might be how they're like offsetting it. But I feel like there should probably be more stages, but I'm not sure if there is.
Yeah, I don't know. And even too with Vampire Survivors, I mean they really just kind of doubled down on releasing new content for that game pretty steadily.
Hmm.
So I mean I could also see them doing something like that, like starting with a solid core with a really strong roadmap to keep beefing the game up.
Hmm.
Um, yeah, hard to say. I imagine a lot of it probably depends on how well it takes off.
Yeah. I mean, it seems to be doing pretty well for itself already. Like, it's already got pretty high reviews. It's already doing pretty well. So, yeah.
Yeah. Well, that's good. I'll have to check it out. I'm excited for that game.
Yeah,
So,
it's on everything today, I believe. So,
um, let's see. Wonder if it has the. Yeah, looks like it's available on the Switch as well. I know it's
hmm,
available on Xbox, so that should be pretty much everything then.
yeah, it's on
So,
Game Pass, which I think we can move along to that, maybe? Or do you want to talk about Pokemon Champions?
I don't have anything extra really dramatic to say about it. So yeah, we can move on. That's fine.
Yeah, let's move on to that. So, let's move on to Game Pass for a second.
Yeah.
Um, Today, it looks like Microsoft went down in price for Game Pass. Sort of.
Hmm.
So I say sort of for a very specific reason. So a little while back, you may have seen Game Pass raise in price, like $6 or $7 basically in every version. There's some versions here that don't really make a whole lot of sense with where it's gone, because Game Pass raised in price because they added stuff like Fortnite Battle Pass, Crew Season, that sort of thing, as
Yeah.
well as Call of Duty, which was the big one. And it seems like now subscribers will be able to get Game Pass for cheaper because they're removing Call of Duty from Game Pass.
Mm-hmm.
So, first of all, that's weird. I'm pretty sure Call of Duty will actually die with this change. Like, not die, but it is going to be on its last legs a lot sooner rather than later. New Call of Duties ain't been doing well. People are finally fed up with their bullshit, and it's getting to a point where a lot of the players were via Game Pass because it was just on there. So they had a reason to play it, and it inflated the Call of Duty numbers, and it made it look like they were doing better than they were. And they're not. They're not doing good at all. But moving on from that, since they removed Call of Duty, which was what they stated raised the price of Game Pass last, they've now brought down Game Pass Ultimate to $22.99. And they brought down Game Pass PC to $13.99 from $16.49. Okay, but here's
Mm-hmm.
the thing: Game Pass PC isn't getting the Call of Duty, obviously,
Yeah.
but they're also not getting a lot of the things that Game Pass Ultimate got, like
Mm-hmm.
those Fortnite perks, for instance. So, shouldn't it be back to its original price if it doesn't have any of that stuff? Because Game Pass PC only has, well, games. That's really it. That's all it was, and it was a $9.99 thing before, and it's now $13.99, I believe, which is like a $2.49 difference from what we were at before. And it's like, okay, that feels like at least that part of Game Pass got the massive short end of the stick because you don't get the perks and you also are still technically paying more when you look at the other versions of Game Pass. And it's just weird. It's just really weird that was a thing that they did. You'd think it would go back to down to its original price instead of the $13.99, but it is what it is. But yeah, I just thought that was kind of odd. I guess they could still try to use the excuse of, oh, well, you get day one games. It's like, yeah, that's what Game Pass is fucking for. Like, I get that, but you stated that Game Pass Ultimate is the ultimate version because you're getting those perks of the Fortnite stuff, you're getting those perks of Call of Duty, you're getting those perks of this, that, and the other. When you remove both those things from it, and then what are you charging the extra fucking $4 for now? Just because you fucking feel like it, and it feels like they kind of may have forgotten about that aspect of it. So I don't know, but I think it's good if you're playing on console that this is back down in price. But I do think we need to get Game Pass Ultimate down to $19.99, and we need to get Game Pass PC back down to $9.99, and then it'll actually be a good deal. Otherwise, right now it's just like it's alright, it's okay, we're doing better. It's a step in the right direction, but there are still some really weird missteps, and that's really how I feel about that.
Okay.
Speaking of weird missteps, how about we talk about PlayStations? Two things, actually. Oh my
Yeah,
god,
I
two
added the
fucking
next one on the
things.
list for you because you forgot.
Yeah, I forgot about that one. I showed you the video and I forgot all about it.
Mm-hmm.
So there was a video that went viral. I'm going to go with this one first because this one's really interesting. There's a video that went viral where a big time PlayStation influencer wanted to buy Metro after the new game was announced. He wanted to buy the whole series, and he wasn't logged into his account. And he saw
Mm-hmm.
that it was on sale for like $6.99, I think is what it was. And he was like, "I'm gonna buy that." So then he logs into his account, and the new PlayStation dynamic pricing kicks in, and it raises the price of the sale up to $9.99 from the $6.99 price that stated that it would be when he was logged out. thus charging him more for having been a loyal member of PlayStation Plus for a long time, which is just insane to me. It's
Yeah.
like we want to make sure that our loyal followers and loyal members and people that have been with us for a very long time, they get fucked over the most. It was like, that's impressive.
Yeah. That's the magic of dynamic pricing.
But see, that doesn't make any sense, right? And I'm just going to go ahead and throw this one out there, right?
It doesn't make sense to
Um,
you as a consumer, but as a company, they're
well,
like,
no,
oh,
no,
this person's most likely going to spend whatever we want them to. So why give
you're
them
a
a cheaper
hundred,
price?
you're 100% right in that aspect.
Mm-hmm.
But I'm gonna talk about this from the point of view of someone that's been dealing with dynamic pricing for a very long time because
Mm-hmm.
I'm a PC gamer and I use Steam. And guess what? They have dynamic pricing as well, but it doesn't go up in price, it only goes down. So the
Okay.
fact that there is a up in price of dynamic price, for instance, I bought Vampire Crawlers today, as I've already told you. I already own Vampire Survivors and all of its DLC, so the game was only $7.99 for me instead of $9.99. That's dynamic pricing
Yeah.
for that game. But anyone that doesn't own the DLC or Vampire Survivors is probably paying the full $9.99 price. But it's not going to $12.99. It's not going to $14.99. It's not going over the base price or the base sale price. So I've seen dynamic pricing done correctly for a very long time. PlayStation, as per usual, just decided that they had to be really stupid. So, you know,
Mm-hmm.
that happened, I guess.
Yeah.
But it's kind of crazy. It is kind of crazy. They get out something that should potentially be a good thing, and they decide to immediately fuck over their most loyal customers.
Yeah. And I mean, that's really, I don't remember what our discussion on dynamic pricing was last time this came up. So I'm not sure
Mm-hmm.
what we had talked about previously. But I mean, yeah, really, I think dynamic pricing, it's a good way for, there are some things that are good for it. Like, you might be able to entice someone to buy something that maybe they would not have necessarily.
Mm-hmm.
And that could be kind of like a gateway, to other things. Kind of like, your example in Metro, if it worked the opposite way.
Yeah.
Um, but yeah, I mean, for the most part, though, it's really just kind of about maximizing profit. And a lot of times, that dynamic pricing is going to look at and be like, oh, Brandon buys a shit ton of our games. We don't have to offer him a discount. Like if Nintendo did dynamic pricing, all my shit would be $70. Like they'd be like, yeah, we're like, we know he's good for it and he's gonna do it, and it doesn't matter. Yeah, I mean, there was even, even topically, there was a thing that went viral for JetBlue this week where this lady's like, why the fuck is my price going up? I was like, I'm trying to get to a funeral. And whoever replied from their media account was like, hey, why don't you try incognito browser and see if that helps with the pricing. So I mean, it really is everywhere. And one nice thing is New York State recently passed a law where, like, if they use dynamic pricing, they have to disclose it,
Mm-hmm.
which is kind of nice. So, like, because what was it? I think I logged into like Airbnb or something, and it was like, hey, by the way, I just wanted to let you know we use dynamic pricing. And I was like, oh, okay, well, that's good to know. But as a consumer, you really can't tell unless you go out of your way to look for it, or if you know kind of what kind of pricing to expect.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, I mean, agree. Generally, yeah, if you're trying to get people like PlayStation, keep buying your games, you need to tread carefully. I guess is what my advice is what I would say.
Yeah.
Because you have a very good chance of, you know, instead of encouraging people to buy things, you just as easily push them away from your service altogether.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, I don't know.
Yeah, it doesn't make any sense. It's kind of dumb. It's very kind of dumb.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. I don't know. Did you have anything else to say on the dynamic pricing?
No, I just wanted to share how dumb that was,
Okay.
honestly, because that just annoyed the fuck out of me. And also, seeing someone that is, for all intents and purposes, a fucking PlayStation shill look at this and be like, this is not okay. What the fuck is going on here? If you have like one of your bigger shills be like, yo, this is fucked up. Maybe that's a good sign that you actually fucked up for once.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Whether or not they'll take that advice, who knows?
Yep, that's true.
Yeah.
Moving
Uh,
on from that, we'll go over to another PlayStation thing.
okay.
Apparently, PlayStation will be introducing age verification in order to use the social features such as voice chat,
Yeah.
which that's kind of crazy.
Mm-hmm. Yes, it is. I just saw it's rolling out in I think the UK and Australia right now.
That's nuts.
Mm-hmm.
Why would you even use their voice chat then?
Probably won't. I'm sure a lot of people won't. I
People
mean,
just
they're
go straight to Discord instead and not give a shit.
yeah, but then you're gonna run into the same thing in Discord. Um, so because the UK and Australia had passed some like age verification laws to protect the youths. Um, and that seems to be where this is stemming from. I think they're trying to do it more as like a legal obligation
Mm-hmm.
there. So whether or not it's going to roll out, kind of universally, that I don't know. I've not seen any kind of confirmation one way or another on that. But I also have not gone out of my way to look for it either. Um, but yeah, I mean, I agree with you. Yeah, people are going to look at that and they're going to be like, well, I'll just use Discord instead. Like, I feel like most people, honestly, I feel like, I don't know if it's kind of your experience. I mean, I don't use those services that much to really comment, but at least kind of what I see anecdotally online, a lot of people say they don't necessarily, it's not usually their first choice anyways. I don't know if that's true or not.
No,
I mean,
I wouldn't say PlayStation Chat is my first choice ever. I
mhm.
only use it if everyone else is like, "Oh, let's use PlayStation Chat." Or whatever. I mean, I use it so little that I found out this weekend that you can actually use it without PS Plus, which I was
Oh,
unaware of because
I had no clue about that
I
either.
feel like it was something you would have to have Plus in order to use it. But nope, you can use it without PlayStation Plus apparently.
Surprise,
So
surprise.
surprise, surprise, yeah. But normally, what I would just do is like just use Discord because in PlayStation chat you can connect to Discord on your
Hmm.
PlayStation. So why would I even care? I just connect to my Discord uh, channel and talk on PlayStation in Discord instead of using
Yeah.
their shitty chat because their shitty chat really has a lot of issues and also the social aspects of the PlayStation in general really
Hmm.
bug me because it's miles behind quite a few others. Even shitty ass Microsoft got it right, and I'll give you a quick example. If I log into Discord chat on my Xbox, I have the option to directly stream my game to my Discord channel. People can watch me playing it, like it's a Twitch thing or whatever, but on my Discord channel instead. PlayStation still doesn't have that, and Xbox has had that since the Xbox One. So, like, what the fuck are we doing? Then they
Hmm.
just recently added Discord chat, like maybe a year and a half ago, 2 years now, maybe. It wasn't there for the longest time. So I don't know. I feel like when it comes to the social aspects, PlayStation's quite behind everything else when it comes down to it. But yeah.
Yeah. I mean, I think Xbox would probably be the most up to speed on it, on those features, right?
But yeah, like I said, you can actually directly stream your game to a Discord channel through your Xbox, and you can also have people connect to you from Discord. Like if it's a game that uses a different like if it's a game that is cross-platform, they can connect to you just by clicking your name while you're logged in on your Xbox and join you that way, which
Hmm.
is very convenient. And I know some games that you play on PlayStation can do that with games such as like Fortnite, but that's because of Fortnite's social aspect, not because of PlayStation. Whereas with Xbox, you can just kind of do that no matter what in any of the games. So it's pretty cool.
Okay.
And I don't want to give Xbox like a leg up here, but they just handle that aspect of things better. Um,
Hmm.
and also, it just doesn't make any sense because like Xbox fucks up when it comes to like the types of what do you call it? Microphones and headsets that you can use on the system, and then PlayStation has like, yeah, fucking whatever, use anything on the system, we're fine with it. And then when it comes to like the streaming aspect or the actual social aspect of socializing with people outside of PlayStation's been super far behind from like the get go and is just now starting to catch up. Whereas Microsoft's got all of that down pat, but they can't get the basic fucking features like having a headset actually work on their system sometimes. Right, which is just fucking ridiculous.
Yeah.
Notice I'm not talking about Nintendo because, well, you already know.
No, I already know how there it is. They're not even in like the same universe
No, they're
as the
not.
other ones.
They're on fucking dial up still at this point with how fucking far behind they are.
Yeah, they're just doing a thing where they're trying to get people to use game chat by like having some of those icons you could, use your currency to get. But I mean, like, A, the icons were stupid, and B, it still doesn't make me want to use it. So
Listen, they're not all stupid. I got the Super Nintendo uh Mario Paint mouse as my icon.
that's not even
And
the
that's a
ones I'm talking about. I like the icons. I like that they offer those icons. I'm talking about the game chat ones
Oh,
specifically.
okay.
Yeah, they
Okay.
have ones that are just kind of like generic looking person and
Uh,
like generic
uh,
looking woman, generic looking man.
that's pretty stupid.
Yeah, text bubble. Yeah, they're very strange. Um, but yeah, I mean, yeah, they're not even doing those right there. I mean, I guess credit for actually like making more of an attempt this generation, but I mean, I can't see anyone using it on the regular.
No, probably
Yeah.
not. I feel like the generation of like actually talking in chat is pretty much gone
Mhm.
for multiple reasons.
Mhm.
One, like, back in the day, it was very lawless. Everything happened in that chat. So much crazy shit was said and whatnot.
Yeah.
But it also caused people to just, actually chat. Whereas now, people will just go to their Discord channels and this, that, and the other. So no one really wants to even chat on a PlayStation or an Xbox anyway. So it doesn't even matter.
Yeah. Um,
I
yeah.
rarely hear anyone in voice chat unless it's like a game like Arc Raiders or Marathon, and even then it's still rare
Spotty.
unless it's like Arc Raiders specifically, because Arc Raiders is definitely one that I would say always has someone in the chat.
Well, it sounds like they built the game around that
Mm-hmm.
to some degree too. So it makes sense. Um, yeah, I mean, I get it.
That's it. That's all I got to say about this shit. I think. It's stupid. I get it. I get it. I get the age verification thing, but it's gonna have even less people use any of the social features or even give a shit about that aspect of the system. I don't think many people will end up doing that now.
No, probably not. Probably not.
Because I'm gonna be 100% honest with you.
Mm-hmm.
I don't want to give my personal details to a company that gets hacked more times than I can fucking count, you know? I don't
Mm-hmm.
want to do that. So, I probably just won't. I probably just won't.
Yeah, that's fair. I mean, I know even when Discord was talking about rolling something out like that,
Hmm.
like there was a lot of people who are like, "I'm down with Discord."
Yeah, basically.
Yeah.
And the thing is, if something like that does get rolled out, right, for
Mm-hmm.
Discord, for this, that, and the other, something else will pop up that doesn't use that, and then people will just go to that instead.
Yeah.
And that's probably what will end up happening, to be completely honest.
I mean, very likely, I would say. It's just kind of like everything. People will move to what makes the most sense at the
Hmm.
time. Like, there's not. I feel like there's not a lot of like brand loyalty for like those kind of apps.
Well, I mean, it's
Um.
not only that, but like, so for example, right?
Mhm.
I'm going to go with like people that are like anonymous YouTubers or whatever. Sometimes they'll host like their own Discords and everything, but they're still anonymous. You don't see their face, They don't do that. They just they talk on camera or whatever, or they do like a video on camera, but they don't actually have their face, and that's because they choose to be anonymous. You're not going to have those people signing up for Discord. You're not going to have them wanting to put their personal details out there because there are some people that just don't want that shit.
Mhm.
And you're going to lose a lot of those people that have like entire things built around, I don't know, like for instance, in this case, I guess PlayStation now, that don't want to show themselves. They're just not going to interact with it. I do feel like this is going so far backwards that it isn't even funny. It kind of sucks, to be completely honest. Like, I get it. Think of the children. Yada yada yada. Blah blah blah. But honestly, at the end of the day, I would say maybe the parents should just do their goddamn job instead of having the social networks and other people do it for them. But that is then a whole nother story.
Yeah. Yeah. I'm sure it'll all get sorted at some point.
Oh, actually, you know what?
Hmm.
You know what? I saw it said best, and I remember it now. When we were younger, we were told never to give our personal details to anyone on the internet.
Yeah.
And now that we're older, we're being treated like the children, and we're being told to do the exact thing we were told to never do when we were younger.
Yeah. Yeah, that's a good point. Yeah, it's just the trust us. Trust us, it'll be fine.
Yeah, it won't.
No, probably not. Anyways, anything else to say on age verification?
No, I think it's just fucking stupid, to be honest.
Okay. Yeah, I know it is. Then last thing on here news-wise, Splatoon Raiders got dated today.
I saw that. I did see that.
July 23rd, coming with Amiibo. Also offers co-op up to 3 additional players.
That's pretty cool.
Yeah. So that seems like it's pretty neat. Kind of interesting Splatoon style spinoff. It's got 3 cool looking amiibos with the Shiver Fry and why am I not remembering my favorite person now? I keep trying to call him Eggman. I know that's not what it is. Big Man. There we are. Big Man. Manta Ray. Yeah, so they got Splatoon Raiders themed amiibo. Those are coming out also on July 23rd, which makes me kind of think they've probably been sitting on this for a little bit because amiibo never come out the same day as games lately. So that was actually kind of surprising on its own. But I also think it gives evidence that maybe that rumor that had broken earlier in like a couple weeks ago about a new Star Fox game and Ocarina of Time for the holidays gives it a little bit more credit because that rumor was basically like, hey, these are all summer games and they're all going to get dated within the next couple weeks before a Nintendo Direct, which is not going to happen until probably June. And that seems to be the case so far because this is the second week in a row that they dated another summer game. Last week was Rhythm Heaven. This week it is Splatoon Raiders. So if the rumor follows the trend, that would mean that we'll see Star Fox Fire Emblem and some sort of Switch Sports kind of update over the next couple weeks as well. So, so that is very exciting. Although I'm excited for both those things. So Rhythm Heaven, I think we said last week, comes out the first week of July. This one, Splatoon Raiders, comes out July 23rd. So busy July from what it sounds like right now. Nintendo does not have anything currently slated for June, which is surprising. So I'm expecting that something is happening there. I don't know what. But that's what they think the Nintendo Direct is. So maybe they're doing a shadow drop, or maybe they're going to put something lesser in that place. Although I don't really know what it would be at this point. Some sort of Switch upgrade, maybe? I don't know. Not sure. But yeah, so that's that. Otherwise, I think that's all the news I got.
Yeah, I don't think I have really that much news either.
Yeah, well, I mean, there's decent news, but we already did it. We did it all.
Yeah, I don't have any extra news, I guess.
No more additional newses.
Yeah, no newsies.
Anything else you want to talk about before we wrap up?
Yeah, I actually saw a movie, and it is really, really fucking good, and I highly recommend seeing it. It's called Good Luck, Have Fun, Don't Die, and it is a movie where the less you know about it, the better, but the general setup is a guy claims he comes from the future, and that AI has essentially ruined everything, and he shows up in this diner and he says somewhere in this diner is the right amount of people that I need to be able to stop the horrible apocalypse that's coming, and I have to find them. This is like the 100th and some time I've restarted this day in order to try to fix the issue. And then he goes into explaining that like people in his time have become like basically brain dead and hypnotized by things into living in a world that doesn't actually exist, while just dying because they don't actually actively have anything to do with the real world anymore. And it's really, really bad for them. And he's like showing the early warning signs of like people being in their phone and everything. And it's like a whole movie about the dangers of technology and this sort of stuff. And it's a very, very good movie. It's also very funny and very well made. It's a Gore Verbinski film, actually.
Okay.
So, if you know who that is, they've made some prominent movies in the past. Quite a few very like well-known ones. And this one's really, really good and very, very interesting and very different from the kind of thing that he has made in the past. And also, this film is like, I've given you a little bit of information, but the less you know about this movie, the better. So I have left so much stuff out.
Yeah, you basically only told me about what I
Yeah.
knew from the trailer. Yeah.
Exactly. So what you should know, right, other than that, is the trailer tells you nothing about this movie. So just even the information I just gave you is nothing compared to what happens in this film. And this film is very, very well made, and I highly recommend seeing it. It just hit digital a little while ago, and I ended up watching it over the weekend, and it was very, very good.
Yeah, it's definitely a movie that I want to watch. I know.
You
so
should. It's really good.
Yeah, so I definitely will get on that at some point. So I think now it's so new. I'm just waiting for it to get a little bit more affordable. That's it.
Yeah, understandable.
Mm-hmm.
I had the ability to see it the other day, so I was like, "Yep, I'm gonna watch this." And I stayed up until like fucking 8 a.m. watching it.
Yeah, why not?
My buddy that hadn't been on in like several months, he's like, "Are you watching that?" I was like, "Yeah." He's like, "Shit, throw it up on Discord. Let's watch it together." I've already seen it, but I want to hear your reaction to it. So he watched it with me, and it was a blast.
Nice.
Honestly, probably one of the more imaginative films I've seen in a very, very long time.
I mean, it looked interesting just even from the concept.
Yes.
So, yeah.
Yes. And there's so much more to it than what you were shown.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I'm interested to see it. So
you definitely should. Definitely do it when you have the ability to. It's awesome.
Yeah, I definitely will.
All right, that's it. That's it for me. I think that's literally all I have to say.
Okay.
Yeah.
Ready to wrap up then?
Yeah, I think I'm good. You good?
Yeah.
Okay.
All right, let's do it. Thank you everyone for listening to us tonight. Don't forget you can find us on iTunes, Stitcher, Google, Amazon, YouTube, wherever you get your podcasts. All of our episodes are on game-crunch.com. If you want to reach out to us, gamecrunchcast@gmail.com. Brandon.
Yep.
Any final thoughts?
No, I'm good.
Okay. That said, my name is Mike Anastasia. Find me online. I'm Clutch Penguin there or on your favorite gaming console. And until next week, game on.
Game on.
Sky above us, no room to be afraid. One more In the metal cold, you lit the flame. If the floor falls out, we jump in time. Your pulse next to mine keeps me
We got news to talk about today that's been written in our chat for the last 3 days or so.
Start writing it in.
Huh?
I said start writing it in.
Da 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 da.